ever looked at your mornings and felt like the day was already winning before you even stood up? You wake up tired, you reach for your phone, your mind is racing, your prayers are rushed, and by noon you can't remember what mattered. Projects pile up unfinished, simple tasks somehow stretch into weeks. Your devotions are on and off, and the anxiety you thought would lift after prayer returns by evening like a shadow that won't leave your doorstep. Listen carefully. That noise you feel inside is not random. It is the sound of a life reacting instead of ruling. It is a sign that something precious is leaking your peace, your focus, your momentum. You must understand this. Confusion is not just an inconvenience. It is a thief. It steals clarity from your decisions, confidence from your steps, and joy from your relationships. When confusion reigns, you don't direct your day directs you. The urgent becomes your master. The important becomes your memory, and you begin to equate busyness with progress while your destiny waits for you to take the wheel. The problem is not that you are weak. The problem is not that you don't love God. The problem is not that you need a new planner, a new job, or a new year. The truth is your life is carrying the cost of disorder, and disorder is expensive. It charges interest in stress, in regret, and in missed seasons. Hear me clearly. Peace is not a mood you stumble into. Peace is not a spa day for the soul. Peace is the fruit that grows in the garden of order. From the beginning, the God of peace revealed himself as the God of order. He separated light from darkness, set boundaries for seas, placed times and seasons in their circuits. The universe is stable because the principles are stable. And if you are made in his image, your life was never designed for confusion. Where order is established, peace takes its seat. Where order is ignored, peace exits the room. I am not here to condemn you. I am here to wake you. Your life is not ruined. Your life is unstructured. Your mind is not broken. Your mind is overloaded with what you have not prioritized. Your spirit is not empty. You have been pouring into too many leaks. This is not punishment from heaven. This is an invitation to alignment. Until you understand that alignment is not emotional, but intentional, you will keep praying for what order would have produced. You can't pray your way into a life you are unwilling to structure. Prayer invites God's presence. Order makes room for his peace to stay. So let me ask you, how many unfinished projects are bleeding your confidence? How many promises to yourself have you delayed to the point that your own words no longer carry weight in your ears? How many nights have you promised tomorrow would be different, and tomorrow arrived dressed exactly like yesterday? This is the hidden cost of disorder. You start doubting your own voice. Your yes becomes soft. Your no becomes negotiable. And soon, your destiny waits outside a locked gate called someday. Listen carefully. The next 30 days will not be a hype moment. I am not offering you a feeling. I am inviting you into a kingdom routine. A routine rooted in identity, anchored in discipline, driven by stewardship, and aligned by priorities. We are going to quiet the noise by establishing government, self-government under God's government. We will not chase peace. We will cultivate it. We will not wait for motivation. We will practice obedience. We will not flirt with change. We will covenant with order. Day by day, decision by decision, we will restore what confusion stole. I want you to picture it. Your morning begins with intention, not reaction. Your mind receives instruction before it receives information. Your calendar reflects your calling, not just your crises. Your space stops screaming at you because everything has a place and everything that does not belong has been released. Your conversations stop wandering into gossip and distraction because your boundaries are clear and your spirit is steady. Your energy is no longer splintered between 100 half commitments. It is gathered around your assignment like a laser. This is not fantasy. This is what order produces. The question is, will you submit your feelings to your future? Will you allow the next 30 days to retrain your instincts? Because routines do not enslave purpose, they serve it. The enemy does not always need to destroy you, he just needs to distract you. And unmanaged time is his favorite weapon. But when you submit your time to the king, time becomes holy ground. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. You stop apologizing for priorities and start protecting them. You stop negotiating with procrastination and start commanding your day. The truth is, discipline is love for your destiny in practical form. And order is the language your future understands. Today is your awakening, the moment you call chaos by its name and strip it of its disguise. This is your announcement. I will no longer rent my life to confusion. I will own my days by principle. Over these 30 days, you will see a shift, not because you wished for it, but because you worked God's way. And what will the fruit be? Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Clarity replaces clutter. Progress replaces postponement. This is what happens when order returns. So let this be your first decision. Stop chasing the sensation of peace and start planting the seeds of order. Open your eyes to the hidden cost you've been paying and decide you will not fund confusion another day. Take a deep breath. Stand up inside. Speak to your soul and say, we will be governed. For the God who called you is not the author of confusion. And if he is your king, then peace is your inheritance. An inheritance protected and proven by order. Listen carefully. If you are going to be governed, you must first know who governs. If you are going to walk in peace, you must first agree with the one who authors it. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Do you hear it? That is not a poetic line. That is a diagnostic instrument. If confusion has been writing chapters in your life, God did not draft those pages. If your decisions feel tangled, your priorities muddled, your days reactive, that is not heaven's handwriting. Something is out of alignment. Your priorities are unranked. Your boundaries are breached. Your stewardship is neglected, or your identity is unclaimed. You must understand this. Peace is the byproduct of alignment with the nature of God, and his nature is order. When your life reflects his order, peace is what flows. When your life resists his order, confusion is what grows. From the very first lines of creation, the God of peace reveals himself as the God of order. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And what happened? The Spirit hovered, the Word spoke, and order began. He separated light from darkness. He gathered waters into one place and called dry land forth. He set the lights in the heavens for signs and for seasons, to govern day and night. He brought seed-bearing plants, seed within itself, not chaos without sequence. He named, he divided, he set boundaries, he established sequence. He didn't create birds before heavens were stretched. He didn't call forth fruit before he planted seed and soil. He did not confuse categories. He ordered them, and then only then he said, be fruitful. Do you see the revelation? Fruitfulness is not a miracle that ignores order. Fruitfulness is a miracle that flows through order. The truth is, God used order to release life, and he has not changed his methods. When order comes, life multiplies. When boundaries stand, peace remains. When categories are distinct and priorities are ranked, fruit appears in its time. Now look at your life through that lens. Where does confusion persist? Where are you perpetually late, perpetually overwhelmed, perpetually apologizing to your own destiny? That is not random. That is misalignment. When priorities are not in place, urgent things become tyrants and important things become victims. When boundaries are not enforced, people's emergencies hijack your assignment. When stewardship is neglected, blessings become burdens. When identity is unclear, you chase roles instead of walking in calling. Until you understand that chaos is not a personality type, but a spiritual misalignment, you will make excuses for what heaven calls rebellion against order. Hear me. This is not condemnation. This is course correction. God is not rejecting you. He is inviting you into the flow of his nature so your life can finally bear the right fruit in the right season. Let me confront two extremes that are stealing your peace. The first is over-spiritualization. I'll pray for peace, you say, and God will handle the rest. While your calendar mocks your confession, your desk testifies against you, and your time leaks without stewardship. Prayer invites God's presence, but order makes room for his peace to stay. You can't keep asking God to calm storms you are still scheduling. You can't pray your way into a life you refuse to structure. The second extreme is secular self-reliance. I'll optimize, I'll hustle, I'll plan my life to the minute, you say, while ignoring the king whose will gives your plans meaning. That is not order. That is idolatry disguised as productivity. Planning without God is pride. Planning with God is worship. One builds a tower to make a name. The other builds an altar to honor the name. One produces burnout. The other produces peace. So what then is kingdom order? It is not control for control's sake. It is not rigid routine born from fear of failure. Kingdom order is daily structure submitted to the king's will. It is a life where schedule serves assignment, and assignment serves purpose, and purpose serves the king. It is when you present your mornings as an offering, your mind receives instruction before it receives information. It is when your priorities are decreed by heaven's constitution. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. When the kingdom is first, everything else finds its place. Relationships, work, rest, finances, health. Listen carefully. Routine is not bondage when it is birthed by obedience. Routine becomes liturgy. Time blocking becomes trust. A to-do list becomes an altar. Your calendar becomes a covenant document that reads, my time is holy unto the Lord. When you set an appointment with the word, with prayer, with focus on your assignment, you are not being legalistic. You are being loyal. You are telling your future, I intend to be there. Let me make it plain. A kingdom routine is not about stuffing your day with tasks. It is about aligning your day with truth. Begin with identity, who you are before what you do. Let the king author your agenda before the world auditions for your attention. Then arrange your priorities around assignment, not appetite. Allocate time to what heaven has called you to steward. Your body as a temple, your mind as a gate, your relationships as covenant trust, your resources as kingdom seed. Establish boundaries as gates, not walls. Gates that welcome purpose and close against distraction, and leave margins. Even God wrote evening and morning into everyday boundaries at both ends. The point is not to become a prisoner of a plan. The point is to become a steward of a purpose. The problem is not that your life is too complicated for order. The problem is that you have tried to live as an owner instead of a steward. Owners do what they want. Stewards do what the king requires. Owners chase peace like a feeling. Stewards cultivate peace like a harvest. Owners blame time. Stewards govern time. The truth is, when you submit your routine to God, peace is no longer accidental. It becomes predictable, a harvest you expect because you plant it in obedience. And hear me, even in storms, peace remains. Why? Because order anchors you to a rock, not a mood. The waves may rise, schedules may shift, emergencies may come, but you still know what is first, who you are, and what must be protected. That is the safety of order. So I ask you, where have you tolerated what God never authored? Where have you baptized confusion and called it personality? Where have you asked for increase while mismanaging the little? Where have you said yes to everything and no to your own assignment? Until you understand that the God of peace is the God of order, you will keep trying to buy peace with vacations and escapes instead of building it with alignment and stewardship. And I refuse to let you live beneath your design another day. You are made in his image. Royalty has protocols. Sons and daughters of the king do not traffic in confusion. They establish government. If God is a God of order, then disorder cannot be your identity. It may have been your habit, but it is not your heritage. This is the foundation. Restoring order is not mere self-help. It is spiritual alignment. It is your agreement with heaven's nature in earthly practice. It is your yes to the king expressed in the management of your minutes. And once this foundation is set, we move to the next revelation. You don't need more time, you need government. You will reclaim authority over your days, not as a tyrant over people, but as a steward under God. Prepare your heart, because the peace you are seeking is waiting behind one decision. As for me and my house, we will be governed. Listen carefully. You don't need more time, you need government. Time is not your enemy, confusion is. The clock has not conspired against you. Your ungoverned life has been negotiating with distractions. Hear me. Before we talk about schedules and techniques, we must talk about identity. You were designed to manage, to cultivate, to steward. In the beginning, God blessed humanity and said, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and have dominion. Dominion is not permission to dominate people. It is a mandate to govern self. It begins with ruling your appetites, ordering your thoughts, disciplining your body, commanding your environment. Until you understand that dominion starts on the inside, you will keep trying to fix your life by rearranging the outside. The truth is, unmanaged souls create unmanaged schedules. Govern the inner world, and the outer world will begin to line up. What do I mean by government? Government is inner leadership. It is the authority to tell your time where to go instead of asking it where it went. It is the courage to say, this hour serves my assignment, and to escort every competing impulse to the gate. Government is not simply control, it is covenant. It is when you treat your minutes like they belong to the king and you as his appointed manager. Think about this. You have asked, where did the day go? But the day is innocent. The day only went where you sent it. Into endless scrolling, into unplanned conversations, into indecision disguised as research, into tasks that are urgent for others but unimportant for your destiny. Listen carefully. If you don't assign your day, someone else will. If you don't decree your priorities, your feelings will. If you don't set your boundaries, your pressures will. The problem is not that you lack passion. The problem is that you have trusted passion to do the work of principles. Passion is a spark. Principles sustain the fire. Stop waiting for motivation and force yourself into organization. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is a resident. Motivation visits you on good mornings. Discipline lives with you through storms. Discipline is leadership over the body. We rise when it's time to rise. We pray when it's time to pray. We study when it's time to study. Discipline is leadership over the mind. We refuse anxious cycles. We choose focus. We train our thoughts to obey our vision. Discipline is leadership over the environment. We clear the clutter. We set the tools. We create a space that speaks our assignment. You must understand this. A disciplined life is not a restricted life. It is a governed life. And government produces peace. Peace because decisions are already made. Peace because priorities are already ranked. Peace because you know what to say yes to and what to dismiss without guilt. Now, let me ask you a hard question, because kings inspect their borders. Where are you leaking? Not theoretically, specifically. Where do you leak time? 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 2 hours swallowed by feeds and tabs that never end. Where do you leak attention? Notifications dictating your brain chemistry, jumping from task to task like a bee with no hive, starting 5 things and finishing none. Where do you leak money? Impulse buys to medicate stress, subscriptions you forgot to cancel, small leaks sinking big ships. Where do you leak emotional energy? People pleasing that drains your conviction, conversations you entertain that have no covenant with your future, saying yes while your spirit is screaming no. Where do you leak purpose? Procrastination, baptized as perfectionism, planning without execution, dreaming without scheduling. Hear me, leaks don't look dangerous until they become floods. Minutes leak into hours, hours leak into weeks, weeks leak into seasons, and suddenly destiny is delayed by drips you refuse to address. I want you to perform a royal audit. For one day, track your choices like a steward, not a victim. Write it down. When you woke, what you did first, how long you scrolled, how many times you checked your messages, how many open loops you left unresolved, where you broke your own word. Not to condemn you, no, to reveal the truth, because truth makes you free and order keeps you free. When you see where the leaks live, you will stop fighting shadows and start building gates. Hear this and hold it. The next 30 days are not about perfection. They are about governance. Direction over perfection, consistency over intensity, decisions over drama. You're not proving to God that you never miss. You are proving to your future that you never quit. Government is built by daily decrees, small, clear, repeated. My morning belongs to God. My first thoughts receive instruction, not distraction. My body is a servant of my purpose, not a dictator of my schedule. My phone serves my assignment. It does not supervise it. My no is anointed to protect my yes. Do you feel the authority rising? That is the king in you waking up. Let me paint a picture. The ungoverned morning begins with the phone. The mind grabs anxiety before it grabs identity. The calendar is empty, so emergencies find a home. And by noon, you are apologizing to yourself again. The governed morning begins with worship and the word identity before information. Then the top 3 assignments are set mission before meetings. Notifications silence for focus. Windows clarity before chatter. Meals planned fuel before impulse. Workspace cleared order before effort. Boundaries stated covenant before conversation. Which life do you expect to harvest peace from? Not the life that reacts, the life that governs. And do not say, but I'm just not wired like that. You are made in the image of a God who separated light from darkness, who placed seasons in sequence, who named and ordered creation. Order is your DNA. Chaos is learned behavior. You can unlearn it by practice. The Holy Spirit is not given to make you reckless with time. He is given to empower you to live fruitful in time. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, including telling your mornings what they are for and your evenings when they must end. Yes, even bedtime is an act of government. Kings know when to rest because they have a tomorrow to rule. Now let me correct a subtle lie. If I discipline myself, I'll lose my freedom. No, discipline is the doorway to true freedom. Undisciplined desires are tyrants. Disciplined desires are tools. Unmanaged time is slavery. Governed time is liberty. When you govern your day, you are not suffocating spontaneity. You are making room for purpose. You are securing peace. You are choosing the harvest you will one day call favor. Favor without order feels like pressure. Favor with order feels like peace. God is not the author of confusion. If confusion has been editing your schedule, tear up that draft and write with the king. So here is your charge for these 30 days. Reclaim authority over your days. Set your wake time and protect your sleep. Give your first minutes to God before you give your mind to the world. Identify your top 3 assignments each day and block time for them like appointments with destiny. Turn off non-essential notifications. What you do not see cannot seduce you. Decide ahead of time what you will eat, what you will wear, and where you will work. Remove decision fatigue so you can spend willpower on what matters. Declutter the space where you execute. Mess multiplies excuses. And above all, keep your word to yourself. You are training your soul to believe you. We are building something governmental inside you, and every government needs a constitution. You cannot enforce order without articles of priority, without non-negotiables that tell everything else where it stands. In the next movement, we will establish that constitution kingdom priorities that put everything in its place so peace can sit on the throne of your life. But for now, make this decree aloud. I don't need more time. I need government. I will govern my days under the king, and peace will guard my borders. Listen carefully. Government without a constitution becomes tyranny, and passion without priorities becomes noise. You must understand this. Priority is spiritual alignment. Order without direction becomes busy frustration. Direction without order becomes delayed destiny. Both are expensive. Both will drain your peace and call it productivity. The truth is, a peaceful life is not an accident. It is the fruit of first things properly placed. When the kingdom is first, everything else finds its rightful place, and peace becomes the atmosphere, not a guest you're trying to entertain. So today, we set the constitution that will govern your days, clarify your decisions, and protect your borders. Hear me with your spirit. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. That is not a memory verse to decorate your fridge. That is the preamble to your life. Until you understand that first is not poetry, but policy, you will keep scheduling God as optional and wondering why peace keeps leaving the meeting. Your schedule must reveal your God, not just your goals. Your calendar is a confession of faith. What you place first declares who you worship. The problem is not that you don't love God. The problem is that you have been asking him to bless a life that refuses to rank him. But the moment you enthrone him in time, you invite his peace to govern your time. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. and peace travels with the king wherever he is placed first. Now let us codify the 3 priorities that will structure these 30 days, 3 pillars that carry the weight of order. The first is presence. Before you reach for information, you reach for instruction. Before you speak to people, you speak to the king. Presence is not a box to tick. It is the relationship that defines your identity, stabilizes your emotions, and calibrates your decisions. Presence trains your ears to recognize your shepherd so that 1,000 urgent voices cannot kidnap your day. How do you practice it? You show up, same time, same place, simple heart. Word before the world, prayer before planning, worship before work. This is not legalism. This is loyalty. This is not routine as prison. This is rhythm as power. The second is purpose. I am speaking of your assignment, the work heaven has trusted you to steward in this season. Purpose stands up every day and says, here are the 2 or 3 actions that advance my calling. Purpose is not a dream floating in your head. It is a schedule carved in your day. If you do not block time for assignment, emergencies will adopt your minutes and your destiny will live on the waiting list. You must guard focus windows where your phone is silent. Your space is clear and your mind is present. Work on the important before you attend to the loud. Your purpose is the vineyard God has given you. If you neglected to chase every bell that rings, do not blame the soil when you harvest thorns. The third is people. Not everyone, covenant people, entrusted people, assigned people. God will test your government by your relationships, your family, your spouse, your children, your core team, your mentors, the ones you are called to serve. People are not interruptions when they are in their rightful place. But hear me clearly, love without order becomes sentimentality that sabotages destiny. People must be stewarded by principle, present, compassionate, and boundaried. You make room for restoration conversations, shared meals, teaching moments, and quiet presence. You also guard against every demand that masquerades as urgency but does not honor your covenant responsibilities. Peace flourishes where relationships are prioritized by purpose, not pulled by pressure. Let me expose one of the enemy's oldest tactics. Urgent versus important. Urgent screams, important bills. Urgent is the email that shouts at 8 a.m. Important is the scripture that would have anchored you at 6 a.m. Urgent is 1,000 pings that feel like a crisis. Important is the one project that if advanced today would shift your future tomorrow. Peace comes when the important is scheduled first. The urgent can be triaged. The important must be honored. Ask yourself daily, what is truly important to my assignment? Your spirit knows the answer. It is presence time. It is the focused creative work or strategic planning you keep postponing. It is the training that multiplies your capacity. It is the conversation that repairs a covenant. It is the rest that restores your temple. Put these on the calendar before the world wakes up. Then, when urgent knocks, you answer from a place of order, not from panic. To make this practical, I am giving you a royal filter, a simple framework that turns confusion into clarity in 10 seconds. When any invitation, task, distraction, or opportunity appears, ask, does this protect my peace, advance my purpose, and honor my king? Say it again until it is carved into your conscience. Protect my peace, advance my purpose, honor my king. If it fails any one of these, it is a no or a not now without guilt. A late night scrolling session, does it protect your peace? No. Dismiss it. A lunch with a person who drains you and disrespects your assignment, does it honor your king? No. Set a boundary. A training course that sharpens your gift, does it advance your purpose? Yes. Schedule it. A flashy opportunity that flatters your ego but fractures your focus, does it protect your peace or honor your king? No. Decline it. This is not arrogance. This is stewardship. This is what kings do at the gate. Do you feel how sanity returns when priorities are set? Your day stops auditioning for a role it cannot play. Your mind stops juggling what it cannot hold. Presence anchors you. Purpose directs you. People align you. And everything else must ask permission to enter. This is the constitution of a peaceful life. First the king, then the calling, then the covenants. Your meals, your meetings, your money, your media, they all find their line behind these three. You become predictable in the best way. Predictably devoted, predictably focused, predictably faithful. Anxiety loosens its grip because decisions are pre-decided. Confusion loses its voice because the courtroom of your soul now runs by law, not by feelings. Now declare it with me, not as hype, but as policy. My schedule will reveal my God. My mornings belong to presence. My prime energy belongs to purpose. My guarded evenings belong to people. Everything else negotiates around these, not over them. I refuse to be bullied by the urgent. I will be built by the important. I am a steward of time, and time is sacred because it carries my assignment. I am done apologizing for priorities that heaven authored. But listen carefully. Priorities must become visible or they will dissolve back into good intentions. Order without visibility collapses, and intentions without ink evaporate. We have set the constitution in your spirit. Now we must draft the documents that your eyes can see and your hands can follow. You will write the vision and make it plain. You will define outcomes for these 30 days. What presence looks like on your calendar. What purpose looks like in deliverables. What people look like in protected moments. We will reduce the noise by putting it on paper, by assigning dates, by clarifying wins, by setting a map. Because organization tells heaven, I am ready for more. And written vision tells your soul, this is where we are going. Prepare your heart. Because next we will take these priorities from principle to plan, from desire to design, from conviction to calendar. And when the kingdom is first, peace will not visit, you will live in it. Listen carefully. We have set the constitution. Now we draft the decree. Write the vision and make it plain that he may run who reads it. That is not stationary for the religious. That is strategy for the governed. Habakkuk did not say, think the vision. He did not say, feel the vision. He said, write it. Why? Because ink is a weapon against confusion. Clarity on paper becomes authority in motion. You must understand this. What remains vague will always feel heavy. And what remains unwritten will always remain undone. The moment you write, you convert clouds into a compass. The Holy Spirit brings revelation, but your hand must bring registration. Peace multiplies where vision is made plain. Have you noticed how loud your mind gets when your life is full of open loops? Emails you haven't answered, speaking like accusers. Promises you made to yourself, whispering when, projects half begun, habits half formed, conversations half had. That noise is not random. It is the sound of ungoverned commitments screaming for order. An unwritten task becomes emotional weight. A vague goal becomes background anxiety. A floating idea becomes mental fog. The enemy doesn't always need to distract you with sin. Distraction with swirl will do. He knows if you carry everything in your head becomes too heavy to lift toward heaven. So hear me with your spirit. Your mind is not a storage unit. It is a strategy room. Storage belongs on paper. Strategy belongs in prayer and planning. Write the vision and make it plain. Now let me show you how to make it plain in 30 days. Not a book, not a binder, one page. Because confusion thrives in complexity, but peace travels light. Take one page and at the top, write your identity confession for this season. I am a steward of peace, governed by the King, aligned to my assignment. Under it, write the theme for these 30 days. Order unto peace. Then set 4 clear outcomes: spiritual, physical, relational, and financial work. Don't write essays, write evidence. What will be true 30 days from now if you obey? Keep it simple, keep it specific, keep it measurable enough that your conscience can't wiggle. You are not writing poetry, you are writing policy. Your spiritual outcome sounds like this. For 30 days, I will meet God at a set time daily with word and prayer, no phone first, and I will keep a simple record of my meetings. Evidence is a field log, not a fuzzy feeling. Supporting habits begin to appear. A set wake time, a prepared place, a Bible and journal laid out the night before. What must be removed? Late night scrolling and aimless mornings. What must be scheduled? A non-negotiable morning window and a weekly Sabbath hour to recalibrate. When it is on paper, it is no longer optional, it is ordained. Your physical outcome has two fronts, your space and your body. Write it plainly. In 30 days, my workspace is decluttered and set with only the tools my assignment requires. My sleep averages 7 hours and I move my body daily. Supported with anchors. A 5-minute daily reset for your desk. A set bedtime and a shutdown ritual. A simple movement plan you can keep when you're tired. Say, a brisk 20-minute walk or a basic circuit. What must be removed? Piles that accuse you. Snacks that sabotage you. Screens that steal your night. What must be scheduled? A daily reset alarm. An evening cutoff for devices. A consistent movement window. Peace in your body and space is not vanity, it is velocity, the removal of friction so purpose can run. Your relational outcome is about covenant and boundaries. Write with courage. In 30 days, I will have restored one key relationship the Lord highlights, and I will establish clear boundaries around my prime energy hours. Supporting habits include a weekly family meal or check-in, scheduled FaceTime with your spouse or child, and a template phrase for saying a principled no without apology. What must be removed? People pleasing that trades your assignment for approval. What must be scheduled? Protected evenings with your covenant people and gatekeeping on your calendar for morning focus blocks. Love is not lawless. When love is ordered, peace is protected. Your financial work outcome aligns stewardship with assignment. Write it without fear. In 30 days, I will operate a zero-based budget, review spending weekly, and complete 3 mission-critical deliverables that advance my calling. Support it with structure. Automate giving and saving. Set a weekly money meeting. Block deep work sessions for your top 3 outcomes. And close each day with a shutdown checklist that clears your mind for rest. What must be removed? Impulse spending and reactionary email. What must be scheduled? The money meeting, the focus blocks, and a daily 10-minute review to set tomorrow's top 3. Hear me. Every blessing you're asking for requires a level of structure to sustain it. Heaven trusts order with more. Now, make it plain. On that one page, under each outcome, list the 2 to 3 habits that support it, the 2 to 3 distractions you will remove, and the specific time slots that carry them. Assign a daily start and stop time for your day. Decide what happens first, what happens next, and what never happens in your prime hours. Write the names of the people who must be prioritized. Write the dates of the deliverables that can't be negotiated. If it isn't scheduled, it is a wish. If it isn't written, it will compete with every other thought in your head. This is not busyness. This is governance. This is not legalism. This is loyalty. And listen, set your expectation properly. This is not a personality reset. This is an obedience reset. You do not need to become a new person in 30 days. You need to become the same person with new agreements. Small, steady, holy decisions compound into stability. 5 faithful mornings will do more for your destiny than 1 weekend of inspiration. 10 focused work sessions will create more peace than 1,000 anxious thoughts about potential. A single weekly money meeting will silence more stress than late night worry. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is glorious. Discipline today creates destiny tomorrow. Direction over perfection. Progress over performance. Faithfulness over feelings. But what if I miss a day, you ask? You will not spiral. You will simply return. Order is rebuilt one decision at a time. Your vision page will be your compass, not your critic. You look at it, you confess it, you align again. Because written vision gives you a place to come back to. When life shakes you, the page steadies you. When emotions lie, the plan tells the truth. When distractions knock, the schedule answers on your behalf. No entry. The king is first. The assignment is in session. The covenant is guarded. Now, let me warn you with love. The moment you write the vision, you will see what cannot stay. Writing reveals idols. Writing reveals leaks. Writing reveals clutter. The pen becomes a prophet that points at the unnecessary and says, this must go. And that is mercy. Because God can't fill what's already full. He won't pour peace into a life that won't make space. So before we cement the daily routine, we will do holy demolition. We will clear the three realms that suffocate your peace. Physical spaces that preach confusion, emotional burdens that occupy your mental real estate, and spiritual clutter that drowns out the shepherd's voice. We will cast our cares, cancel our chaos, and create capacity. Take your page, write the vision, make it plain, post it where your eyes must reckon with it every morning and every evening. Read it aloud until your mind believes you. Pray it until your spirit owns it. Schedule it until your calendar confesses it. And as you do, watch what happens. Confusion loses its authority. Anxiety loses its argument. Procrastination loses its alibi. Peace begins to settle because order has been enthroned. We are not hunting a feeling. We are governing a life. And the next step in this governance is liberation, decluttering the three realms so your written vision has room to run. Listen carefully. You have written the vision. You have named the outcomes. You have scheduled the important. Now the king points his finger at the crowded places and says, make room. You must understand this. Clutter is captivity in disguise. It binds your peace, taxes your energy, and muddies your discernment while pretending to be sentimental value or necessary complexity. The problem is not that you are weak. The problem is that your life is too full to receive what heaven is sending. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And peace refuses to settle where chaos still claims a chair. Until you understand that order is not only about adding structure, but also about subtracting weight, you will keep praying for a peace that has nowhere to sit. The truth is, heaven is generous, but heaven will not violate your stewardship. God can't fill what's already full. Have you noticed how your environment preaches to your mind? A desk covered in yesterday's decisions whispers you are behind. A floor with piles speaks an accusation you are late. A closet stuffed with the ghosts of old seasons prophesies you might need this again. And your faith replies, maybe God won't provide next time. That is not furniture. That is fear hiding in fabric. That is not a junk drawer. That is a drawer of delayed decisions stealing your mental margin. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner government. Disorder outside reinforces disorder inside. So we begin with the physical, not because stuff matters most, but because environment is a sermon your senses can't ignore. Start with one space to restore authority. Not the whole house, not the whole office, one surface you control. Your nightstand, your desk, your car seat. Win one ground and your soul remembers, I am a governor, not a victim. Here is how you rule that ground. Take everything off the chosen surface and put it in one bin. Wipe it down as a declaration. Old residue is not welcome in a new season. Return only what serves your assignment. Tools, not trophies. Instruments, not insecurities. What remains in the bin must face judgment. Keep, give, discard. Not sentimental, panic, principled decisions. If it does not protect your peace, advance your purpose, or honor your king, it does not belong in your prime space. Install a daily 10-minute reset at the same time every evening. Set an alarm if you must. This is a kingly act, not housekeeping. Once a week, take a disposal bag through your space and release 10 items you do not need. 10, not 90. 10. Faithfully, you are training your mind to detach from what no longer carries your calling. You are telling your atmosphere, I am the gatekeeper here. And watch what happens. Clarity rises when chaos falls. Focus sharpens when friction leaves. You don't need a new brain, you need a clear table. Now, hear me with your heart. Physical clutter is loud, but emotional clutter screams in silence. The heaviest rooms in your life are often the ones no one can see. The word instructs, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. That is not poetic comfort. That is an operational command. Cares are meant to be cast, not cuddled. Many of you are carrying burdens God never assigned. You're parenting adults who refuse responsibility. You're holding unforgiveness like a security deposit against hurt. You're managing others' expectations as if they were commandments from Sinai. The difference between responsibility and burden is this. Responsibility is what God has delegated to your stewardship. Burden is what guilt and fear have kidnapped into your schedule. Responsibility has grace for the task. Burden drains grace from everything else. Until you understand that love without boundaries becomes bondage, you will call martyrdom ministry and wonder why your peace is bankrupt. So let me teach you a release ritual for your soul. Each evening, take 5 minutes with your journal and list your cares for the day as if laying them on an altar. Names, situations, anxieties, outcomes. Write them, say them, and then surrender them out loud. Father, I cast the care of this bill, this meeting, this child, this report, this conversation onto you. I receive your wisdom for what is my responsibility and your rest for what is not. Then mark each item with one of two letters. R for responsibility, B for burden. If it is R, schedule the next faithful action. If it is B, release it and refuse to rehearse it. And once a week, schedule a forgiveness, repair conversation. Not a fight, a covenant act. You initiate where the Spirit highlights. You apologize where you contributed. You forgive where you have been holding debt. You clarify expectations where confusion grew. Not every relationship will reconcile, but your heart will. Peace requires clean ledgers. Let me address the most subtle prison now, the spiritual clutter that sounds like life but suffocates it. Distractions dressed as connection, entertainment impersonating rest, unconfessed compromise, rationalized as just a season. This is the static that dulls your discernment. This is why you read the word but hear nothing, pray but feel fog, worship but feel numb. The channel is not broken, the line is noisy. Where there is secret disobedience, there will always be public restlessness. Where there is undisciplined consumption, there will always be dull perception. Listen carefully. Partial obedience is disobedience dressed for church. Gray areas breed gray atmospheres. You are asking for direction while keeping the volume of the world on 10. Then you wonder why the shepherd's voice feels faint. It is not faint. It is filtered through your feed. So we install a boundary that breaks the static. The word before the world daily. Phone on the altar, not in the hand, for your first meeting of the day. A set chair, a simple plan. 10 to 20 minutes of scripture. Read slowly, out loud if you can. Followed by stillness that is not negotiation, just attention. No social until you have opened scripture and opened your mouth in prayer. If you must, place your device in another room. Build a shutdown ritual at night where you power down screens at a fixed time and invite holy quiet into your home. One night each week, fast from digital noise for 3 hours and let your mind breathe. And where there is known compromise, confess it quickly and cut the tie. Better peace with less entertainment than anxiety with endless access. Better clarity with a narrow gate than confusion with an open flood. Your discernment will sharpen in silence. Your spirit will acclimate to peace. I know what you're thinking, but what if I need this? What if I regret letting it go? What if saying no offends them? That is the voice of scarcity and the fear of man bargaining for your future. Remember the manna. The God who provides daily bread does not need you to hoard stale crumbs in your closet or stale approvals in your conscience. Release is faith in action. Decluttering is not aesthetic minimalism. It is covenant trust. You are telling heaven, I believe you are enough for my tomorrow, so I will not keep what belongs to yesterday. And you are telling your soul, we will not serve people's moods at the expense of God's mission. Let me make the rituals plain so your obedience can be precise. Every day, a 10-minute physical reset at a set time. The word before the world. An evening care casting with R, B marking, and device shutdown before bed. Every week, one disposal bag, walk through releasing 10 items. One forgiveness or repair conversation as the Spirit directs. 1 3-hour digital fast for holy quiet. And if you can, 1 money and calendar review to keep gates aligned. These are not chores. These are chains breaking. These are not suggestions. These are strategies. Systems are what you do when inspiration has gone to sleep. Discipline is the proof that you are ready. Order is not punishment, it is protection. As you practice release, watch the signs of liberty appear. You breathe deeper in rooms that used to steal your oxygen. You think clearer about work that used to intimidate you. You hear God in scriptures that used to feel closed. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Not because you found a new feeling, but because you enthroned a new order. The space you create becomes the place He fills. The room you clear becomes the room He governs. You did not change your destiny by magic. You changed your capacity by management. And heaven always trusts order with more. Now, once space is made, structure can be installed. This is the order of the kingdom. He separated light from darkness before He set the rhythms of days and seasons. You have separated, you have released, you have made room. Next, we will build the kingdom routine that anchors your spirit, trains your mind, and disciplines your body. Daily anchors, weekly rhythms, predictable peace. We are moving from demolition to design, from clearing to constructing, from subtraction to systems. Get ready. The routine will not restrict you, it will release you. Because peace is the fruit of divine order, and you are about to live ordered on purpose. Listen carefully. Now we install the scaffolding that makes your freedom stable. Routine is not a prison. Routine is discipleship. You are trained by what you repeat. Repetition writes laws on the heart. Habits are the liturgy of your life. They preach to your future even when your feelings are silent. You must understand this. Gifts may open doors, but only character keeps you in the room, and character is formed in routine. The problem is not that you lack desire. The problem is that your desire has no daily altar. The truth is, purpose does not flourish in random weather. Purpose flourishes where rhythms are righteous, predictable, and protected. Let me say it plain, because your destiny cannot afford confusion. For the next 30 days, you will live by 3 daily anchors: morning alignment, midday recalibration, and evening closure. These are non-negotiables. These are the rails that keep the train of your assignment from derailing in the curve of emotion or the fog of distraction. This is not legalism. This is loyalty to your calling. This is not punishment. This is permission to live powerful. Morning alignment. Before the world claims your attention, the word claims your allegiance. Word before world. Prayer before pressure. Purpose before people. Set a fixed wait time. Yes, fixed, because time is territory and you must patrol it. Meet God in the same chair with a simple plan. Read the scriptures slowly, listen attentively, pray specifically, and then set your priorities intentionally. End that meeting with 3 clear outcomes for the day. 1 spiritual act of obedience, 1 assignment critical deliverable, and 1 stewardship action that protects your peace, perhaps your health or your finances. Close your Bible, write your top 3 on paper, not in your head, and keep your phone off or in another room until this moment is complete. You are not being dramatic, you are being governed. You are building the morning monarchy where the king's voice is first and final. Midday recalibration. Halfway through the day, call a holy timeout, 5 to 10 minutes. Step away from the screen, step into awareness, and ask 4 questions that rescue your hours from drift. Who is ruling my attention right now? Purpose or pressure? What is the next right task that aligns with my top 3? What can wait until the admin block? What must be deleted because it does not serve my assignment? Offer a brief prayer. Lord, re-anchor me to what matters. And then make a micro adjustment. Close extra tabs. Silence unnecessary notifications. Write a 1-line next step and return to focused work. Add 1 physical cue. Stand. Breathe deeply, drink water, and stretch for 60 seconds. Why? Because your body is not your enemy, it is your servant. When you honor it, it serves you longer and stronger. This midday ritual is not wasted time. It is a governor's meeting to keep the cabinet of your mind in order. Evening closure. The gates of the day must be shut with gratitude, review, and preparation. Peace does not come to a day left open. Take 10 to 15 minutes in the evening to review your top 3. Mark what was completed. Schedule the next faithful step for what remains. And write down any loose thoughts so your mind can stop rehearsing them in the night. Then practice gratitude with specificity. 3 mercies you witnessed today, spoken out loud. Finally, prepare tomorrow's environment. Set out your Bible and journal. Lay out your clothes. Stage your workspace with only the tools your assignment requires. And set device shutdown for a fixed time before bed. Your pillow is not a planning table. Sleep is stewardship. Rest is obedience. When you sleep on time, you respect the architecture of creation. To everything there is a season. And you tell your nervous system, the king is on the throne. I can rest. Time then becomes sacred again. Hear me. Managing your time wisely is one of the highest forms of worship, because time is the platform on which purpose performs. You can give money and get it back. You can give energy and recover it. But when you give time, it is gone into history to testify for you or against you. Teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. Teach us to numbering days is not counting hours. It is aligning hours with heaven's agenda. You cannot pray your way into a life you refuse to schedule. Prayer is fuel. Structure is the engine. Without structure, your zeal evaporates into scattered sparks that never become a sustained flame. So let me hand you a simple time block template. Choose your fixed wake and fixed sleep times. Guard them like gates. Protect a devotion block at the start of the day. 30 to 60 minutes where the word and prayer establish order. Carve a deep work block, 90 to 120 minutes, where you advance your highest impact assignment without interruption. Schedule a health block, 20 to 45 minutes for movement, sunlight, and hydration. This is not vanity. This is velocity. Plan a family or relationship block, 60 to 120 minutes, where you are present, undistracted, and emotionally available to your covenant people. Add an admin block, 30 to 60 minutes for email, bills, texts, logistics, and low cognitive tasks so they stop bleeding into your prime hours. Finally, leave a margin block, 15 to 30 minutes to absorb the unexpected without swallowing your peace. That's it. Not complicated, clear, repeatable, governed. Now, listen carefully, because sabotage loves to sneak into the cracks. Starting the day with the phone is surrendering the throne of your mind to other people's agendas. If your thumb is your alarm clock and your inbox is your invocation, your peace will be auctioned to the highest bid of urgency. The fix is not mystical. Charge your device outside the bedroom. Use an analog alarm if you must. Word before world. Non-negotiable. Unplanned evenings are open gates where thieves enter. If your nights are indefinite, your mornings are unstable. Decide a shutdown time for screens. Decide a light out time. Decide what your last 20 minutes look like. Review, gratitude, preparation, prayer, and do not betray it. You are not a slave of entertainment. Your destiny is not for sale to the next episode autoplay. Multitasking is a quiet rebellion against focus. It promises speed, but delivers sloppiness, stress, and spillover. Your brain does not parallel process deep work. It ping-pongs, leaking energy, every switch. The remedy is single task sanctification. One tab, one task, one timer. Finish, then switch. Watch your excellence rise as your anxiety falls. Living off urgent demands is not leadership. It is reaction masked as responsibility. The urgent screams, the important whispers, the urgent threatens, the important builds. Guard your deep work block as a sanctuary. Say, I'm available at the admin block to interruptions that can wait. Your email is someone else's to-do list, not your mission statement. Take back the pen that writes your day. Neglecting rest is not diligence. It is disobedience to design. Your body is a temple, not a trash can for stress. Sleep is the cleaning crew of your brain and the recovery team of your body. Honor it. If you must cut something, cut scrolling, not sleeping. If you must fast from something, fast from midnight chaos, not morning communion. The Sabbath principle is not a suggestion for the weak. It is a system for the wise. You may say, but what if life hits hard? What if a day explodes? It will. That is why anchors are small enough to keep on difficult days. The morning can be 20 minutes. The midday can be 5. The evening can be 10. The power is not in the length. The power is in the loyalty. Consistency breeds confidence. System sustains success. Order lowers the volume so wisdom can be heard. Don't miss this. Routine creates predictability, and predictability creates peace. When your morning is ordered, anxiety loses its foothold. When your midday is recalibrated, drift becomes direction. When your evening is closed with gratitude and preparation, rest becomes restorative instead of restless. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you established government. Heaven backs government that mirrors his nature. Now lift your head, because this next line is a bridge to your promotion. Routines require stamina. Feelings won't hold them. Excitement won't sustain them. Discipline will. Discipline is the engine of destiny. Discipline today creates destiny tomorrow. You are not becoming rigid. You are becoming reliable. Reliable to God. Reliable to your assignment. Reliable to your future. In the days ahead, we will build that inner strength, the muscle that keeps showing up when motivation goes missing. For now, install the anchors. Guard the blocks. Treat time as sacred. Live governed. And watch peace become normal, because you decided to make order your law. Listen carefully. Routines without resolve become decorations, pretty intentions that collapse under pressure. You must understand this. Discipline is the muscle that makes your system move when your mood resists. Discipline is simple to define, but fierce to develop. It is doing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, the way it needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Feelings are weather. Discipline is climate. Feelings change by the hour. Discipline sets the atmosphere of your life by conviction. The problem is not that you are emotional. The problem is that you have allowed emotions to sit on the throne. The truth is, emotion is a helpful messenger, but a terrible monarch. Until you understand that your feelings are indicators, not instructors, you will keep surrendering your destiny to the temperature of the day. Kings don't ask the weather for permission to rule. They rule in all seasons. Have you noticed the enemy's subtlety? He rarely needs to destroy a person he can distract. He does not always come with a hammer. He arrives with a suggestion, a ping here, a scroll there, a later that turns into never. If he can keep you inconsistent, he can keep you small. If he can keep you starting, he never has to worry about you finishing. Listen, God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And peace is the environment where purpose prospers. The adversary knows that an undisciplined life is a confused life, and a confused life is an unfruitful life. So he sells you shortcuts. He whispers compromises. He inflates urgencies that are not assignments. He will not always fight you at the level of your calling. He will nibble at the level of your calendar. Do not negotiate with noise. Govern it. So how do we build the strength that outlasts the mood? Micro-obedience. Say it again in your heart. Micro-obedience. Destiny is not built in dramatic moments. It is shaped in daily moments that nobody claps for. Small acts done faithfully become a testimony of mastery. Make the bed as a declaration. I complete what I begin. Plan the day in ink, not imagination. I will not drift. Finish one task before you pick up the next. I honor focus. Pray before you react. I submit my emotions to the King. These are not trivialities. These are trainings. The kingdom grows in the soil of consistent yeses. When you cannot control the mountain, govern the next step. When passion is low, keep covenant high. You do not need the feeling to obey. Obedience will escort the feeling. Momentum is the child of small, repeated faithfulness. Now I want to put handles in your hands, because power without practice is a tease. We have 3 daily anchors: morning alignment, midday recalibration, evening closure. Turn them into a simple scoreboard. Each day, mark a habit score from 0 to 3 based on those anchors. 0 says you drifted. 1 says you honored 1 anchor. 2 says you honored 2. 3 says you completed all 3. No shame, no drama, just data. Why? Because what gets measured improves, and what remains vague rarely transforms. At night, in your evening closure, record your score and write 1 sentence about the biggest win and 1 sentence about the biggest leak. On the 7th day, conduct a weekly review, a 30-minute meeting with yourself and God. Look at your scores, celebrate progress, identify patterns. Ask 3 questions. Where was I most faithful? Where did I most frequently leak? What 1 adjustment this week will protect my top priorities? Then decide in advance what you will stop, what you will start, and what you will sustain. This is self-government. This is maturity. This is how adults in the kingdom grow. And because you are not a silo, invite weight-bearing friendship into the frame. Accountability is not control. It is covenant support. Choose 1 trusted person who honors your destiny more than your excuses. Share your top 3 outcomes for the day in the morning. Report your habit score at night. Give them permission to ask, did you keep your word? Not as a prosecutor, but as a partner. When you know a brother or sister will ask you, your resolve rises. 2 are better than 1, for if they fall, 1 will lift up the other. Stop hiding in private inconsistency while praying for public fruit. Exposure to loving accountability accelerates transformation. Now, I want to arm your mouth, because warfare often begins at the level of language. Build declarations that align your routine with your covenant. When you wake, say, I refuse confusion. I choose order. I submit my schedule to the King. Before deep work, say, my mind is single. My focus is holy. My assignment matters. When distraction knocks, say, not now. Purpose is speaking. When emotions surge, pray, Spirit of God, govern my heart. Wisdom, sit at the gates. Peace, be my umpire. When you close the day, declare, I release what I cannot control. I steward what I can. I rest under the King's watch. Why speak? Because words frame worlds. Declarations are not magic. They are agreements. You are bringing your mouth, mind, and minutes under the same flag. Let me confront a lie that keeps many of you stalled. You think discipline makes life small. You think structure restricts your genius. No, undisciplined genius eventually sabotages itself. Discipline does not make you smaller, it makes you sharper. Discipline is not punishment, it is protection. It guards you from the theft of scattered energy. It dignifies your time so you can release your true creativity on schedule, not on accident. You are not becoming rigid. You are becoming reliable to God, to your assignment, to your future. And hear me, God responds to reliability. He who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. Not perfect faithful, not famous faithful, not loud faithful. Faithfulness is the currency of promotion in the kingdom. Why does heaven often wait? Because love protects you from blessings you cannot carry. Every increase brings weight people to serve, resources to manage, influence to steward, pressure to withstand. Without discipline, increase becomes injury. So the Father in mercy withholds what would crush you and invites you to build capacity. Discipline creates capacity. The daily anchors, the micro obedience, the habit scores, the weekly reviews, these are not busy work. They are scaffolding for the next level. You are proving to heaven with your structure that you can handle what you are asking for. You are telling opportunities, I have a landing strip. You are telling resources, I have containers. You are telling people, my yes means something. Until you understand this law, you will keep interpreting divine delay as divine denial. It is not always no. Sometimes it is not yet. Not yet, because the system that would sustain the blessing is still fragile. Not yet, because your feelings are still appointing your agenda. Not yet, because your mouth is still agreeing with confusion. But when discipline matures, delay loses its legal right to hold you. Peace rises, because your inner world has government. Purpose accelerates, because your focus is protected. Increase approaches, because you have demonstrated stewardship. So today, make a sober decision, not a dramatic vow, a disciplined one. Decide that your feelings will be servants, not sovereigns. Decide that micro-obedience will be your new normal. Decide that your habit score will tell the truth and your weekly review will align you again. Decide that your mouth will weaponize your routine with holy declarations. Decide that you will be found faithful in the small until God can trust you with the greater. Lift your hand. Discipline today creates destiny tomorrow. Discipline is the proof that you are ready for peace, ready for purpose, ready for increase. And as that readiness grows, you will discover a secret. Heaven does not resist order. Heaven rushes to it. You are building capacity, and where there is capacity, there will be promotion. Listen carefully. Promotion is not random. An increase is not an accident. Heaven observes order like a banker inspects books. You must understand this. God invests in what is governed. Before he filled the earth, he formed it. Before he populated, he put boundaries. Before he blessed, he brought order. That is not poetry, that is policy. The kingdom runs on stewardship, and stewardship is impossible without order. The truth is, many of you are waiting on a level that is waiting on you. You asking for more harvest without building more barns. You praying for heavier responsibility while your current load is leaking through unmanaged cracks. Until you understand capacity, you will keep misreading silence from heaven as rejection when it is actually invitation. Prepare and I will fill. Let me diagnose the cycle that keeps stealing your peace and delaying your promotion. You pray for financial increase, but your payments are late, your bills are buried under paper piles, and you treat your budget like a rumor. You ask for more opportunities, but you forget commitments. You show up flustered. You arrive without preparation, and then you excuse it as being busy. You want deeper relationships, but you neglect your health. You run on fumes. Your patience is thin because your body is exhausted, and then you define yourself by your worst day. You cry for spiritual power, but your devotion is inconsistent. Your prayers occasional. Your scripture diet is snacks, not meals. And your obedience is seasonal rather than daily. The problem is not that heaven is stingy. The problem is that management is sloppy. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And where confusion reigns, he is not obligated to supply overflow. Peace partners with order, and order proves readiness. So what is capacity? It is the ability to carry weight without breaking, to hold blessing without spillage, to host responsibility without hemorrhaging peace. Capacity has dimensions. Time capacity is your calendar under government days, assigned on purpose, not surrendered to pressure. Emotional capacity is your boundaries in place, your yes protected, your no mature, your heart guarded like a gate. Spiritual capacity is consistency. Word before world. Prayer before pressure. Obedience before options. A rhythm that makes faith predictable. Physical capacity is energy on assignment. Sleep honored. Movement regular. Nutrition intentional. Your body treated as a partner to your purpose, not a prisoner of your stress. Financial capacity is your money with a mission. Every dollar named, bills automated, where wise, giving and saving set as non-negotiables, subscriptions audited, waste evicted. When these capacities expand, heaven finds containers. Oil does not flow to chaos. Oil flows to vessels. Authority trusts organization. I want to put a capacity upgrade in your hands for the next 30 days, not as a theory, but as an obedience. Start simple and strong. In the first 3 days, bring your money under management. Set up automatic payments for recurring bills so late fees lose their grip. If automation is not possible, create digital reminders for every due date and place them on your calendar with a buffer 3 days early. List every subscription and ask one hard question of each. Does this serve my assignment? Cancel at least one that steals and does not serve. Decide where every dollar will live this month. Necessities, giving, saving, purpose-driven investment. Then keep the decision. Remember, what you refuse to name will rule you in secret. Then establish a weekly planned session that becomes a sanctuary for your schedule. Choose a fixed time Sunday evening or early Monday morning and sit with your calendar, your top 3 weekly outcomes and your commitments. Review the previous week's wins and leaks. Set your deep work blocks, your devotion block, your admin block, your family block, and your health block in ink before the week begins, so you stop trying to negotiate with urgency in the heat of the moment. Ask, what must be done by me? What can be scheduled later? What can be delegated? What must be deleted? Leadership is stewardship of attention, not addiction to activity. Now address your body, because your purpose needs a vehicle. Choose a simple meal rhythm you can repeat without drama. Consistent breakfast, consistent hydration, consistent whole foods. You do not have to overthink. Plan movement daily, 20 minutes minimum of walking, stretching, or strength. Decide your sleep window and defend it. Device shut down at a fixed time. Lights out at a fixed time. Your pillow is not a planning table. Remember, physical neglect is a slow sabotage. Strong spirit plus tired body equals avoidable irritability. You are not being vain. You are building velocity. Next, declutter your commitments. Open your calendar and do a sacred audit. Which recurring meetings no longer serve your mission? Which social obligations drain without the fruit of covenant? Which volunteer task belongs to a past season? Release at least 2 commitments this month with honor and clarity. You are not irresponsible. You are reassigning time to your true assignment. Peace rises when the schedule tells the truth about your calling. Say it aloud if you must. I am not available for everything. I am assigned to something. Do not neglect the heart. Establish an emotional boundary practice. Every morning, decide the 2 or 3 people who have primary access to you that day for decision making and emotional energy. Everyone else gets appropriate delayed access admin block, scheduled call, or tomorrow. Refuse real-time reactivity to every ping. When pressure tries to draft your emotions into chaos, breathe, pray, and ask, is this mine to carry? Is this the right time? Is this the right way? Your soul is not an open hallway. It is a temple with gates. Spiritually, double down on consistency rather than intensity. Maintain the morning alignment, the midday recalibration, and the evening closure. Decide a simple Bible plan and stay with it. Choose 1 book, 1 psalm, 1 proverb cycle. Journal 3 lines, not 3 pages, every day, so you stop quitting because you cannot do an hour. Pray specific, obedient prayers, not loud, loyal. Remember, grace is not a substitute for governance. Grace empowers it. As you implement this capacity upgrade, hear the deeper message your order sends to heaven. Organization is not obsession, it is obedience. Structure is not straitjacket, it is strategy. You are effectively saying, Lord, I have room for what you want to pour. I have vessels labeled, shelves cleared, gates posted. I have forecasted the weight. I have honored the now so I can carry the next. When the widow gathered jars, the oil honored the boundaries of her preparation. When Joseph built storehouses, the nation survived famine and he rose in influence. When you build systems, you announce readiness. Order is your prophetic response. Peace is heaven's witness. Do you want to know why peace increases as capacity grows? Because weight meets structure, pressure meets process, opportunity meets preparation, anxiety drains when ambiguity disappears. You stop waking to chaos because your day has an owner. You stop dreading emails because your admin block awaits. You stop fearing bills because your payments are scheduled. You stop resenting people because your boundaries are mature. You stop bargaining with sleep because your lights out is settled. Peace becomes normal when order becomes law. Now watch the transition. Because capacity not only must be built, it must be defended. What you organize can be vandalized by unguarded gates. The next assault will not always be on your plan. It will be on your permissions. People will test your no. Emergencies will audition as assignments. Distraction will come dressed as opportunity. So after we build capacity, we must establish boundaries, relational order, emotional gates, a wise covenantal no that preserves your holy yes. We will go there next because your peace will always be attacked at the gates, and a governed life knows how to guard what God is building. Listen carefully. What you have organized must now be guarded, because your peace will always be attacked at the gates. You must understand this. Boundaries are not walls of hostility. They are gates of wisdom. Gates decide what enters and what exits. Gates regulate timing. Gates preserve value. The problem is not that you are too loving. The problem is that you have confused love with unlimited access. The truth is, love without structure becomes abuse in slow motion. Until you understand that access must be earned and managed, not assumed and demanded, people, pressure, and distraction will colonize your calendar, your emotions, and your energy. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. Your heart is a city. Your mind is a treasury. Your time is a royal estate. Post guards. Have you noticed that chaos rarely kicks down the door? It usually walks in through an open gate labeled, "I didn't want to disappoint them." Guilt-driven living is a silent thief. You say yes to be liked, and then you resent the person you pleased. You overcommit to appear spiritual, and then you underdeliver and feel ashamed. You answer messages at midnight to prove availability, and then wake exhausted, blaming the day. This is not persecution. This is poor policy. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And peace requires honest limits and clear expectations. Let me pass to you for a moment. Saying no to what God did not assign is not rebellion. It is obedience. Saying not now to what demands instant access is not pride. It is prudence. Saying I can't commit to that is not weakness. It is stewardship. I want you to hear me clearly. Boundaries are how you love rightly. Boundaries tell your spouse, your children, your friends, and your colleagues that your yes has integrity because your no has conviction. Boundaries tell your own impulses that you are not ruled by cravings or crowd approval, but by calling. Not everyone can occupy your time. Not everyone can live in your head. Not everyone should have a key to your home, your habits, your schedule. Covenant gets the inner room. Community gets the living room. Crowd stays at the gate. Jesus ministered to multitudes but lived with 12 and confided in 3. Why would you do the opposite? Now, let's confront the scripts that sabotage you. When a request comes that violates your priorities, your old reflex says, "Sure, I'll make it work," while your spirit groans. Train your mouth to protect your mission. Say, "I can't commit to that." Say, "Let me check my schedule." Say, "I need time to pray before I answer." Say, "I'm protecting a routine God told me to build." Do you feel the strength in those phrases? They are not rude. They are responsible. We are not weaponizing no. We are sanctifying yes. Because a no to the wrong thing is actually a yes to the right thing. Your assignment, your family, your health, your focus, your peace. Let me teach you the difference between assignments and attachments. Assignments are sent by God to grow you, to align you, to multiply fruit. Attachments latch onto your momentum without sharing your mission. Assignments add weight that turns into strength. Attachments add weight that turns into strain. Assignments require sacrifice with joy. Attachments demand sacrifice with resentment. How do you discern the difference? Ask 3 questions. Does this relationship clarify my calling or cloud it? Does this connection increase my discipline or excuse my drift? Does this person respect my boundaries or resent them? If the answer exposes consistent cloud, drift, and resentment, you are not cruel to create distance. You are wise to protect destiny. Some relationships are for a season, not a lifetime. Honor the season. Release the grip. Now, for the next 30 days, I'm calling you into a relational reset. Not drama, not public speeches. Quiet, decisive adjustments that restore order. First, identify draining patterns. Look at your last 30 days and list the 3 interactions that left you consistently heavy, confused, or frantic. Ask yourself why. Was it the person, the timing, or the lack of clarity? Then redesign the gate. Change the time, change the channel, or change the terms. Second, limit digital availability. Your phone is a gate with no night guard. Post one. Set specific windows for messaging and email and disable non-essential notifications. Your brain is not a fire alarm. Urgency is not a god. If it truly is an emergency, the right people know how to reach you. Third, schedule family time in ink, not pencil. Dinner windows, game nights, walks, shared devotions. Protect them as if a king had called the meeting, because the king did. If you do not schedule your family, the world will schedule them for you. Fourth, repair one relationship through humility and clarity. Make a call or send a voice note that says, I apologize for my inconsistency and vague expectations. Here is what I can realistically commit to, and here is what I cannot. I value you enough to tell the truth. Humility heals, clarity stabilizes. Love tells the truth about limits. Listen, Nehemiah rebuilt Jerusalem with walls and gates, and when the enemy mocked him, he did not leave the wall to argue. He stayed at his post. You need that spirit. Do not descend from your assignment to negotiate every accusation of selfishness from people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. The problem is not that you became selfish. The problem is that you stopped subsidizing dysfunction with your time. The truth is, your new order will offend old chaos. That is not a sign to retreat. It is a sign to reinforce. Let me get very practical about your gates. Your mornings are a gate. Protect them from opinion until you have met with God. Your meetings are a gate. Begin with an objective and end on time. Your social media is a gate. Consume on purpose, not to escape. Your finances are a gate. Impulse is not invited. Your body is a gate. Who lays hands on you? What food enters you? What rhythms govern you? Your speech is a gate. Do not promise in a moment what your system cannot sustain in a week. Put watchmen at each gate, reminders, rituals, accountability partners, and pre-decided scripts. This is not paranoia. This is prudence. I know some of you are wrestling with the voice of guilt even now. You are hearing, but won't people think I'm cold? Won't opportunities pass me by? Won't I miss out? Hear the word again. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. Peace is not proof that you missed out. Peace is proof that you are aligned. Opportunities aligned with destiny, respect, order. Divine connections are not scared of your calendar. They are relieved by it. The right people do not need you frenzied to feel favored. The right doors swing on the hinges of discipline. Until you understand that boundaries are ministry to yourself and those you love, you will keep confusing burnout with bravery. You will keep calling anxiety a prayer burden when it is actually poor management of access. But today, something shifts. You right-size expectations. You place your yes on assignment. You rename guilt as miseducation. You let love wear armor. You become gracious, clear, and firm. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Now, with the gates posted and the guards trained, it is time to give this month an actual path, not theory, a day-by-day roadway. We will move in 4 phases that build progressively. Order first, then capacity, then increase, then maintenance, so that peace is not a weekend feeling, but a sustained atmosphere. Prepare your heart, prepare your calendar, prepare your gates. We are about to walk a 30-day roadmap that will make order your lifestyle and peace your normal. Listen carefully. Transformation does not submit to impulse. It submits to sequence. You don't drift into peace. You govern your way there. Line upon line, precept upon precept, day upon day, until your routine carries your revelation. You must understand this. Peace is the fruit of divine order, and order is established through a process. The problem is not that you lack hunger. The problem is that you've tried to change everything in a weekend and then condemned yourself by Tuesday. The truth is, God wired life to grow by stages: seed, blade, air, full corn in the air. Until you embrace a phased approach, you will keep confusing excitement with establishment. Today, I am placing in your hands a 30-day covenant. 4 phases that move you from chaos to clarity, from emotion to system, from noise to peace. If you will submit to the process will produce the peace. Phase 1, days 1 through 7, is about resetting the atmosphere. Before you build a tower, you clear the ground. Before you add weight, you secure the foundation. For 7 days, your assignment is not to do everything, but to install the anchors that change the climate of your life. First, fix your sleep and wake windows. Choose a bedtime and a wake time that honor your assignment and keep them without negotiation. Why? Because mornings are gates, and when you control the first gate, you govern the day. Second, declutter one space, not the whole house, one space. Your desk, your entryway, your nightstand. One visible environment that tells your brain order has returned. Third, install your morning alignment. Word before world. Prayer before pressure. 3 lines in your journal. What you're grateful for, what you're assigned to, what obedience looks like today. Fourth, remove one major distraction. Delete the app that steals hours. Put the TV remote in a drawer for a week. Set your phone to grayscale if it hypnotizes you. You are not being radical. You are reclaiming your mind. Fifth, write the one-page vision. Habakkuk said, write the vision and make it plain so you can run. 1 page, not a novel. Who you are in the King, what you are assigned this year, the 3 priorities that must govern your month, and the habits that protect them. Clarity is mercy to your future. During these 7 days, introduce your daily kingdom check-in, because a governed life audits itself. Every evening, ask 3 questions. What did I do today that honored the King? What created confusion? What must be corrected tomorrow? Simple, short, surgical. Don't explain, adjust. Because you don't manage what you won't measure, and you don't measure what you won't face. Watch what happens. Peace will not shout, but it will start to settle in like a quiet authority. Your mind will stop sprinting at dawn because your morning knows its owner. Your room will preach to your soul because cleared space announces a cleared spirit. Your one-page vision will stare at you until your excuses run out of ink. Phase 2, days 8 through 15, is where you build a schedule. Order without direction leads to frustration. This is the week where your calendar becomes a sanctuary, not a crime scene. Time block your core priorities before the world bids on your hours. Block devotion, block deep work, block family presence, block health, block admin. If a priority does not live on your calendar, it will die in your imagination. Establish a weekly planning session. Choose a fixed moment, Sunday night or early Monday, where you meet your week with authority. You review last week's wins and leaks. You set your top 3 outcomes for the coming week. You put your most important tasks into your most energetic hours. You protect what matters from the tyranny of what screams. Now, add the midday recalibration. In the middle of your day, stop for 5 minutes. Breathe, pray, realign. Ask your kingdom check-in question in miniature. What would honor the King in my next block? What is creating confusion right now? What must I correct in the next hour? This is not wasted time. This is wisdom time. The afternoon slump is not just physical. It is spiritual drift disguised as fatigue. Recalibrate, and your focus will return like an armed escort. Set your top 3 daily outcomes every evening for the next day, not 15. 3. Which 3 actions, if completed, would make tomorrow a win before the emails multiply? Write them where you will see them, and reduce digital noise with pre-decided windows. Disable non-essential notifications. Create 2 or 3 slots for messages and email. Tell your brain the truth. It is a steward, not a siren. If it's an emergency, the right people know how to reach you. Stop worshiping the red badge like an idol. Manage your time, and your time will multiply your peace. Phase 3, days 16 through 23, is where we increase capacity. You have formed anchors and built a schedule. Now we reinforce the container so heaven can trust you with weight. Automate and organize your finances and admin. List every bill with a due date. Set auto pay where wise. And create calendar reminders 3 days early where auto pay is not available. Audit subscriptions and cancel at least one that does not serve your assignment. Build a simple file system, digital and physical, so papers and documents know where to live. Why? Because unmanaged details leak your peace and repel increase. Oil does not flow to chaos. Oil flows to vessels. Strengthen your health rhythm this week. Firm up your sleep window. Set your movement as non-negotiable, 20 to 30 minutes daily of walking, stretching, or strength. Prepare simple meals you can repeat. Hydrate on purpose. Your purpose deserves a body with energy on assignment. Finish lingering tasks. Start an open loops list of everything half done. The call you keep postponing. The form you haven't submitted. The drawer you begin organizing and abandoned. Choose a number 5 per day and close them. Each closure is a gate sealed, a leak repaired, an anxiety silenced. Strengthen your boundaries in real time. Use your prepared scripts. Let me check my schedule. I can't commit to that. I'll get back to you during my admin block. With each boundary honored, your soul learns a new normal. Peace is not negotiable. Then add one growth block. Choose a skill that serves your purpose, or a project that moves your assignment forward. A course, a book, a practice block, a purpose project you keep delaying because it intimidates you. Schedule 3 to 4 sessions this week. Capacity grows when you invest in tomorrow from within the structure of today. Joseph did not dream without storehouses. The widow did not receive oil without jars. Prepare and you qualify for pour. Phase 4, days 24 through 30 is where you multiply and maintain. Many start well, few sustain. We are not building a sprint. We are codifying a lifestyle. First, simplify commitments. Look at your calendar and prune at least 2 recurring obligations that no longer serve your vision or belong to this season. Honor people, keep relationships, release duties. You are not breaking covenant, you are correcting allocation. Second, build a maintenance day. 1 day a week, a half day if needed, assigned for resets, budgeting and bills, inbox zero, space reset, plan session, laundry rotation, meal prep, check the gates. Maintenance is not glamorous, but it is the guardrail that keeps you from ditches. Third, create a rule of life, your daily, weekly, and monthly rhythms in one living document. Daily, morning alignment, midday recalibration, top 3, movement, lights out. Weekly, plan session, maintenance block, family time and ink, worship and word, margin. Monthly, financial review, calendar pruning, vision review, generosity expression, a half-day retreat to listen and adjust. Write it. Share it with an accountability partner. Put it where your eyes can testify against your excuses. Fourth, prepare a 60-90-day continuation plan. What will you strengthen in the next quarter? Which habit will you deepen? Which growth project will you complete? Which boundary must be upgraded? Which gate needs a new guard? Set one theme per month, order, capacity, increase, and choose 1 or 2 outcomes that prove progress. Remember, heaven entrusts increase where it finds sustained stewardship. All along this 4th phase and truly across all 30 days, keep the daily kingdom check-in. Ask it out loud, write it down if you must. What did I do today that honored the King? What created confusion? What must be corrected tomorrow? This is not condemnation. This is governance. The King is not looking to shame you. He is forming you. Each honest answer is a brick in a wall that protects your destiny. Now, hear me with wisdom and courage, because this roadmap will meet resistance. Hell does not applaud when you take back your time. Distraction will audition as opportunity. All appetites will knock on your window at 11 p.m. when your lights out is 10. People who lived off your lack of boundaries will call you selfish the moment you protect your peace. Your own feelings will betray you. A foggy morning, a flat afternoon, a day when motivation goes missing like a wandering sheep. The problem is not that you face resistance. The problem would be if you had no response. The truth is, consistency is not the absence of falling. It is the refusal to stay down. Until you understand this, you will let one missed day become a missed week and then label yourself a failure when heaven was calling you back in 3 steps. So I am giving you a recovery protocol now so that when you stumble, you do not surrender your ground. First, repent quickly, not religiously. Return your mind. Lord, I drifted. I choose order again. Grace meets truth and opens the gate. Second, reset the smallest anchor. When the day derails, go straight to the next right thing. The 5-minute midday recalibration, the top 3 list, the bedtime. Do not try to catch up 12 tasks. Choose one anchor that restarts the system. Third, review your kingdom check-in and correct tomorrow. Note what created confusion. Was it a broken boundary, an overloaded list, an unguarded gate? Adjust and move. Do not punish yourself with perfectionism. Perfect was never the goal. Governed is. Peace is not achieved by dramatics. It is sustained by decisions. Let me pastor your expectation. Some days will feel powerful, others will feel plain. Some victories will be loud, most will be quiet, like a whisper that says, you kept your word to your future. Do not despise the plain days. Farmers don't shout at seeds, they water them. This 30-day covenant is you watering the garden of your destiny. You will wake one morning and realize something shifted. Anxiety lost its audience. Procrastination lost its lie. Your calendar looks like your calling. Your space feels like your spirit. Your words carry weight because your habits carry holiness. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Why? Because order returned, and with order came the witness of heaven. Have you ever considered that managing your time wisely is a form of worship? Time is sacred because it is the platform on which purpose walks. When you time block your priorities, you are offering God the first fruits of your hours. When you budget your resources, you are honoring the giver, not the gift. When you protect your mornings from opinions, you are putting the king on the throne of your day. This is not legalism, this is lordship. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. Organization tells heaven, I am ready for what you promised. Disorder tells heaven, I am praying for what I cannot keep. Which one will you be? Now, set your heart, make the covenant. For the next 30 days, submit to the sequence, reset the atmosphere, build the schedule, increase capacity, multiply and maintain. Keep the daily check-in. Post the watchman at your gates. And when resistance rises, remember your recovery. We are not chasing a feeling. We are cultivating an order. We are not begging for peace. We are building a garden where peace lives. If you will honor this path, peace will cease to be an accident and will become your address. And when someone asks you, how did you find this calm? You will smile and answer, I did not find it. I governed my life by the king's principles and peace came home. Tomorrow, I will teach you how to recover when you miss a day. Because warriors don't quit, they recalibrate. But tonight, write the vision. Choose your wake time. Pick your one space. And lay your head down under a new decree. My life is under government. My days have an owner, and my peace will be sustained. Have you ever woken up on day 9 and realized day 8 swallowed you whole? The alarm went off, but your body negotiated. The phone flashed, and your mind wandered. One interruption multiplied into 10, and by nightfall, you felt that old voice creeping in. See, you still can't keep it. Listen carefully. New order threatens old patterns. Your flesh loves familiarity. Your mind loves habit. The enemy loves distraction. So when you begin to govern your life, do not be surprised when resistance rises like a storm at sea. The problem is not that you faced wind. The problem would be if you had no sail. You must understand this. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And when you move toward peace, confusion will try to reclaim its territory. Expect the fight, but refuse to call a skirmish a surrender. I want you to hear me clearly. Missing a day is an event. It is not an identity. Condemnation is confusion, wearing religious clothing, and it is a lie designed to drag you back to disorder. The truth is, the righteous fall and the righteous rise. What makes you righteous is not the absence of stumbles. It is the presence of repentance and the discipline to stand up again. Until you understand that consistency is not never falling. Consistency is refusing to stay down. Order is rebuilt, one decision at a time. You will let a single misstep name your future. Not here, not anymore. We are building a life, not a moment. We are forming a lifestyle, not fulfilling a mood. So here is your 24-hour reset protocol, your covenant of recovery. Within 1 day of drift, you return to anchors. Begin with morning alignment, word before world, prayer before pressure. Speak your identity out loud. I am a citizen of the kingdom. My time is sacred. My purpose governs my day. Open your one-page vision and read it slowly until your heart remembers why. Then clean one small area to re-announce order to your senses. Don't argue with the whole house. Tame a nightstand. Reset your desk. Clear the kitchen counter. Your environment is a sermon to your soul. Make it preach peace again. Next, rewrite your top 3 priorities for the day. Not 10, 3 the actions that, if completed, would make today a win. Put away your eyes will accuse your excuses. Send a message to your accountability partner. I drifted yesterday. I'm back on protocol today. Here are my top 3. Humility breaks shame's back. Agreement restores momentum. Then protect your bedtime and go to sleep on time. Lights out is not laziness. It is leadership. When you honor the gate of rest, you reclaim the gate of morning. Reset done. Now take a breath and receive this with maturity. Grace is not permission for disorder. Grace is power to rebuild. Grace meets you in the fall so that responsibility can stand you up. Get up and rebuild the structure. Do the next right thing, not every right thing. If you missed your morning, take 5 minutes now to recalibrate. If you broke a boundary at noon, reassert it at 2. If you ate your feelings at 4, take a walk at 5 and drink water on purpose. Don't punish yourself with theatrics. Replace shame with strategy. Repentance is not groveling, it is governing. It is a decisive turn toward order, empowered by the Spirit who works in you both to will and to do. Then reflect, not to rehearse failure, but to install wisdom. Ask, what tripped my gate? Was it fatigue because I violated my sleep covenant? Was it people pressure because I said yes while my spirit said no? Was it an unclear plan because I woke up without top 3 outcomes? Was it an unguarded phone that seduced my attention with endless scroll? Name the trigger and install a boundary. If fatigue betrayed you, move your bedtime up 30 minutes and set a screen curfew. If people pressure pushed you, practice your scripts again. Let me check my schedule. I'm protecting a routine God told me to build. If lack of clarity confused you, write your top 3 every evening before your brain gets noisy. If your phone ambushed you, exile it to another room at night. Disable non-essential notifications and designate check-in windows. This is not overreaction. This is order. This is not fear. This is faith applied to practice. Hear me, the day does not have to be rescued by heroics. It can be redeemed by habit. When you slip, don't try to recover 6 hours and 60 minutes. Return to the smallest anchor that restarts the system. Pray the next prayer. Finish the next task on your top 3. Do the 5-minute room reset. Close the open loop you've avoided. And if the afternoon collapses completely, pivot to the evening win. Review the day with honesty. Forgive yourself. Prepare tomorrow's top 3 and go to bed on time. That decision alone will save your morning and salvage your week. You do not owe chaos a performance. You owe your destiny a pattern. And to the one who says, but I feel like I'm failing God every time I stumble, let me shepherd your heart. You are not failing God by learning stewardship. You honor him by standing up and continuing the process he gave you. He separated light from darkness in Genesis. Order was his first sermon to the universe. When you rebuild your structure after a fall, you agree with his nature. You are saying, King, have your way in my time, in my priorities, in my gates. That posture invites peace to return like a royal envoy. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Confidence replaces confusion. Not because the day was perfect, but because you chose to govern again. This practice will do more than stabilize your schedule. It will shape your spirit. As you recover quickly, your authority will increase. You will discern faster what is assignment and what is attachment. You will say no without guilt because your yes is now holy. You will feel the weight of heaven's trust as opportunities begin to align with your capacity, not outrun it. Your prayers will carry precision because your habits carry order. Your family will feel the difference not in grand speeches, but in the calm that sits at your table and the presence that looks them in the eyes. This is what order produces spiritually. Peace as the atmosphere, authority as your posture, discernment as your guard, and readiness as your signature. You stop reacting to life and start directing it under the government of the King. So when you miss a day, and you will at some point, do not write an obituary for your progress. Write a reset. Consistency is refusing to stay down. Order is rebuilt, one decision at a time. Stand up. Return to your anchors. Call your accountability. Clean one small space. Write your top 3. Sleep on time. Rise with the King. This is how warriors recover. This is how leaders are formed. And as you walk this way, you prepare your heart for the crescendo that is coming, because we are about to declare to every realm of confusion that order is our prophetic response and peace is heaven's witness that alignment has returned. Lift your head, set your face like flint. Your peace is not fragile, it is governed. Your future is not delayed, it is being prepared. Now, let's finish this race with strength. Listen carefully. This is the moment when your life begins to testify without you saying a word. After these days of submitting to order, can you feel the shift? Your home doesn't hum with the same static. It breathes. Your mind isn't sprinting at dawn. It's seated. Your prayers don't wander like tourists. They travel like arrows. Your decisions do not wobble between 10 opinions. They stand, they hold, they endure. Peace has stopped visiting and started living. Peace is becoming the atmosphere, not the occasion. Have you noticed how silence no longer scares you? How a clear room feels like a clear conscience? How an on-time bedtime feels like a blessing, not a punishment? This is not luck. This is not personality. This is the fruit of divine order. You must understand this. The God of peace is the God of order. If he is not the author of confusion, then confusion had a counterfeit pen writing in your calendar. But when you realign your life with his nature, when you put first things first, when you rebuilt your gates, when you said yes to discipline and no to distraction, you strip confusion of its legal right to reign. The truth is, peace is not just a feeling you stumble upon. Peace is the government that relocates to wherever God's order is honored. And when God's order is in place, his peace becomes a garrison. It stands watch over your heart. It guards your mind. It refuses entry to the intruders that used to come and go at will. Panic, worry, scatteredness, the tyranny of urgent things that add nothing to your destiny. Until you understand that alignment is authority, you will keep begging for what order is designed to preserve. But alignment has returned and heaven is bearing witness through peace. Now lift your vision, because destiny recognizes the scent of readiness. Opportunities do not land on confusion, they land on structure. The promotion you prayed for is attracted to preparation. The relationship you desire is secured by boundaries. The doors you want to walk through require the keys of consistency. You cannot pray your way into a life you are unwilling to structure. God answers prayer with provision, but he releases provision where he finds stewardship. Joseph did not save nations with a dream. He saved them with storehouses. The widow did not receive oil without jars. Order is how you recognize what God is sending. Order is how you receive it without spilling it. Order is how you sustain it after the applause fades. Discipline today creates destiny tomorrow. And you are proving to heaven that tomorrow can be trusted to your hands. So I want you to conduct a holy inventory right now. What has changed in your spirit? Is there a steadiness where the shaking used to be? Do you sense the nearness of God in the quiet moments you once avoided? What has changed in your habits? Are your mornings governed by word before world? Prayer before pressure? Is your top 3 guarding you from the avalanche of trivia? What has changed in your space? Do your surfaces speak of clarity, not chaos? Have you given every tool, every paper, every item a home so your mind can rest? What has changed in your relationships? Are you saying no without guilt because your yes is now holy? Are you replacing people-pleasing with purpose-keeping? What has changed in your focus? Can you see the road ahead without fog? Are you working on what matters in your most energetic hours, refusing to bow to the red badge and the endless scroll? Answer these questions and you will hear the testimony of peace rising from the details of your life. Now hear the charge. Become an ambassador of order. Your life is not meant to hoard this peace. It is meant to export it. Leadership begins with self-government, but it does not end there. Bring structure to your family. Sit at the table and establish rhythms, shared calendars, quiet hours, Sabbath margins, tech at the door so presence can come through the gate. Teach your children that responsibility is royalty training, that making the bed is more than tidying. It is telling the soul that chaos does not rule here. Bring structure to your work. Propose meeting windows that respect deep work. Clarify roles. Set review rhythms. And stop rewarding last-minute heroics that are born of poor planning. Become the thermostat in your team, not the thermometer set, the temperature of focus and calm. Bring structure to your ministry. Start on time, end on time. Steward people's attention like a sacred resource. Make excellence normal and excuses rare. This is not cold efficiency. This is kingdom integrity. Order makes love visible. Order makes service dependable. Order makes vision possible. The problem is not that the world is dark. The problem is that governed lights hide under the clutter of busyness. The truth is, people are waiting for the calm you now carry. They don't need another speech about priorities. They need to sit in a room where peace is the air and clarity is the language. They need to witness a parent who keeps their word to the morning. A manager who honors time like treasure. A friend who sets boundaries without bitterness. When you live this way, you are preaching without a pulpit. Your schedule becomes a sermon. Your home becomes a sanctuary. Your follow-through becomes a prophecy that says to chaos, your reign is over in this house, in this team, in this season. Until you understand that order is your prophetic response to confusion, you will keep fighting smoke and ignoring the fire. But you see it now. Every time you prioritize the kingdom, you prophesy to your day. Every time you keep the gate of sleep and the gate of waking, you prophesy to your week. Every time you budget, declutter, plan, and protect your priorities, you prophesy to your future. Alignment has returned here. Peace is permitted to dwell here. And heaven answers with witness. Calm where there used to be storms. Focus where there used to be frantic. Confidence where there used to be guessing. This is more than productivity. This is priesthood over your own life under the sovereignty of the King. So we seal it, not with a feeling, but with a covenant-like decision. Beyond day 30, we do not relax back into default. We rise into a rule of life. We set our monthly watch, review the vision, prune the calendar, strengthen the boundary that leaked, invest in the skill that serves your assignment, refresh the spaces that host your peace. We refuse drift by establishing dates with our destiny. We teach our emotions the schedule. We tell our phones where to live at night. We turn our yes into a stewarded promise, and we say with boldness, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord in our priorities, in our time, in our gates, in our habits. Not perfect but prepared. Not flawless but governed. Not busy but fruitful. Lift your head. Look at the life you are building under the King's government. Can you see the faces that will breathe easier because you chose discipline over drama? Can you see the doors that will open because your capacity grew? Can you see the generations that will call you blessed because you taught them that peace is not a myth, it is a managed reality under divine order? This is your testimony. Peace is the fruit of alignment. Order is your prophetic response. And the God of peace, the God of order, is smiling over governed life. Now, take this peace into every gate you guard, every room you enter, every plan you set, and prepare your heart for the final charge. Because we are about to make a covenant for the next 30 days that will carry this atmosphere forward until peace is not something you chase, it is something you steward. This is the covenant, not a suggestion, not a mood, a covenant. Listen carefully. The God of peace is the God of order, and you are made in his image. That means order is not foreign to you. It is your native country. You must understand this. Your identity is stewardship. Your routine is discipleship. Your discipline is destiny. And your capacity invites increase. When you govern your life according to the principles of the kingdom, peace is obligated to show up as the fruit of divine order. You have felt the forecast of it in these days. Now we are going to formalize it. Not tomorrow, now. So hear the charge and answer it with action. Choose your start date. Don't say soon. Don't say when things calm down, because that is how confusion survives on a diet of vague intentions. Put your finger on a real day within the next 72 hours and name it day one. Announce it to your calendar. Announce it to your household. Announce it to your own soul. Then commit to the 3 daily anchors for 30 days without negotiations. Anchor 1, morning alignment, word before world, prayer before pressure. Not as a checkbox, as a throne. You enter the day from the presence of the King. Anchor 2, written clarity. Write your top 3 outcomes before the noise begins. And keep your 1-page vision in sight where your eyes can correct your drift. Anchor 3, guarded gates protect your bedtime and waking time, and put your phone on a leash with designated windows. If you honor the gates, the city of your life will know peace. Now, select 1 declutter target as your declaration of liberty, not 5, 1. Choose a space that steals your calm, a desk, a closet, a car trunk, and give it 15 purposeful minutes every day. As you remove what does not belong, you will feel captivity break in places you didn't know were bound. Clutter is captivity in disguise. Casting it out is a ministry to your mind. Write the 1-page vision. If you have not yet, identity at the top, assignment in the middle, priorities and boundaries in plain words. And schedule your weekly planning appointment with your destiny. Pick a day, pick an hour, same time, same place, and meet with your future. Review the past 7 days with honesty. Set the next 7 with wisdom, and commit your way to the Lord. Managing your time wisely is one of the highest forms of worship, because time is the currency of purpose. I want you to hear me clearly. This is not a call to busyness. This is a call to government. The kingdom does not multiply confusion. It multiplies capacity. God will not release your next level into a life that cannot hold it. Every blessing you've been praying for requires a structure to sustain it. Every door you want to walk through requires the character to keep you there. You can't pray your way into a life you're unwilling to structure. Discipline today creates destiny tomorrow. And your routine is the daily classroom where your spirit trains your mind and your mind trains your body to obey the King. Until you understand that governance is love in action toward your future, you will treat order like punishment instead of permission. But I declare over you, permission has been granted. You are authorized to be organized. Now, make your commitment public enough to be held. Tell a trusted friend, a spouse, a mentor, this is my start date. These are my 3 anchors. This is my declutter target. This is my weekly planning hour. Ask them to check in. Send a weekly report. Wins, lessons, adjustments. And I want you to return here daily if you can, weekly without fail, and track your progress. Share the testimony when the room that used to scream finally goes silent. Share when your morning stops sprinting and starts seated. Share when a boundary you kept saved your peace, because testimonies build altars and altars anchor generations. The enemy doesn't always need to destroy you. He just needs to distract you. Your shared story will expose his schemes and strengthen someone else's resolve. Let me strengthen your hands with the word that does not fail. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. That is not a suggestion. It is a promise with a procedure. Pray, give thanks, present, then peace guards. And you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. All things includes order. All things includes boundaries. All things include saying no to distraction and yes to discipline. The truth is, if the king keeps his word, and he does, then structure your life like you believe it. Put the promise on your calendar. Translate faith into formation. Move from confession to construction. So here is how we will pray over this covenant for the next 30 days. We begin with repentance for disorder, Father. We admit where we allowed confusion to write our days. Forgive us for treating time casually and priorities carelessly. Then we receive grace for discipline. Empower us to do what must be done, especially when we don't feel like doing it. Then wisdom for priorities. Teach us to number our days, to distinguish urgent from important, to put the kingdom first without apology. Then protection for peace. Set angels at our gates. Guard our mornings and our nights. Silence the intruders that used to come and go. And readiness for increase. Enlarge our capacity. Strengthen our stewardship. Find in us a structure that can carry what you are sending. We will not script it with eloquence. We will live it with obedience. Now lift your head and answer one last question. Will you sign this covenant with action? Will you choose your start date right now? Will you guard the 3 anchors for 30 days? Will you pick one space to liberate and give it your minutes until it breathes? Will you write the 1-page vision and meet your future once a week on purpose? Will you let your testimony be the sermon that your schedule preaches? Make the decision. Make it like a vow. Not to impress people, but to honor the King who trusted you with breath and time. I commission you now to live governed, to live ready, to live at peace. Go in the authority of alignment. Go in the confidence of stewardship. Go in the strength of the Spirit who works in you both to will and to do. And as you walk out these 30 days under kingdom order, expect to witness peace in your gates, clarity in your plans, strength in your habits, capacity in your hands. You are not waiting for peace. You are building the environment where peace must grow. Now go and govern your life